Throughout the 80s and 90s, former Syracuse head coach Jim Boeheim was always known as a great coach, but also known as one of those coaches that couldn't get the job done. I mean, he could recruit with the best of them. You look at some of the talent he's had come through that program early on: Pearl Washington, Ronnie Cycli, Sherman Douglas, right? Derek Coleman, Billy Owens. Great talent, but no championships to show for it. I mean, people will always wonder, will it ever get done? I mean, you look at some of the epic collapses that programs had in the NCAA tournament. I mean, started like 91 is arguably one of the biggest upsets in tournament history. They lost to Richmond, which was a 15 seed, and the process became the first 2 seed to lose to a 15 seed when that happened. But all of that changed 20 years ago today. And why did it change? Well, because Jim Boeheim led his team back to the national championship game, but this time he was on the right side of history. His team defeated Kansas 81-78, and they were a young team, right? You had one senior in Quef Dewaney. You had 2 sophomore starters, Hakeem Work and Craig Forth. Then you had 2 freshmen, one named Jerry McNamara and another guy I think you may have heard of. His name was Carmelo Anthony. And finally got that monkey off his back. Now, in competing against Kansas, Roy Williams also didn't have a national championship, and you kind of felt for both coaches, and they both deserved it. But you know, Boeheim coincidentally was back at the spot where he lost his first national championship game. You know, the one to Indiana in '87 when Keith Smart hit that last second shot. But this time he was on the right side of history and finally got the monkey off his back. Now, would this have changed his status as far as being one of the greatest coaches ever? I doubt it. But it's a lot better to talk about him having a national championship than it is to talk about him not having one.